Yeah.
Good morning. We are the coolest, calmest, got it together people in the morning. And then at the very last
3
second,
seconds to go,
it just falls apart.
It's off the rails, honestly.
So good morning. We are at EMAX Podcast, our new name, Chamber Chat, Meet Our Members. And we are here with Claire Davids from Caring Transitions, who's our member joining us today. And my co-host is Tom Duffy from Jersey Shore Financial Advisors. I had that right for 3.5 years. I wrote it wrong once, and now I have to think about it every single solitary
in your
time.
head.
Right? And it's so bad.
Yep.
So anyway, it is Friday. It's November 5th. So we're in November. The year that was after the year that wasn't is almost over. Right?
Wow.
I mean, right?
That's a deep concept.
Right? Let's not spend too much time on it. It's depressing.
It's also Guy Fawkes Day.
It's what?
Yes.
Guy Fawkes Day.
Yes, Guy.
Remember.
The 5th of November. Yeah.
I'm not allowed to sing or do puns. I forgot. So, anyway, so we were going to introduce you guys to our other guest, which is Ed McCarthy here. But he had a rough Halloween. He's looking a little pasty, so he's there.
He's my imaginary friend.
Your imaginary partner is sitting here, Ed. Ed couldn't make it this morning, but we have a chair for him, so we thought we'd include him anyway, and we got a giggle out of that. So I got a lot to say.
Really? We got an hour. So.
Okay, all right. Well, okay.
So get started.
We have to recap, okay? Because we talked about September and October was our membership month.
Mm-hmm.
We welcomed 19 new members in the month of October. In 1 month. And they are dynamite, excited, participating, joining committees, making the most of their membership from day one. And we are so happy to have them. And hopefully everybody's looking at our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and seeing all of our new member welcome posts because they're all being posted and advertised there. And let's see. So that was awesome. Tom and I were thinking of a really funny story right before we started that happened at our last BAH, which was at Nissan City of Red Bank. And I always speak, say hello, greet everybody at these events.
This is what's going on.
Not a lot, but I do it every time. So we had about 30 people there that night with us.
Which is probably the biggest group we've had in quite a while. Because as we said, it's almost the end of the year after the year that didn't exist.
Yep.
So yes. So we had quite a few people in the room and we're staying there and I go to say, and now I start to introduce myself and do our announcements, and my husband, Ray, who many of you have heard of and know, was in the back of the room. And he says, "We can't hear you. You're not loud enough." And Tom,
what?
Tom's like, "What? That's never happened before." Ray, really? He goes, "I bet that's the first time Ray has ever said that."
Absolutely.
And I think it was. And Ray said, no, it's the second. So he must have been one other time.
Right.
But, me talking in front of a crowd is, I remember one of the first reunions I went to of his. I didn't know anybody. I didn't grow up around here. It was his high school reunion. And I raised my voice above everybody because the person at the mic couldn't get anyone's attention. And Ray's nowhere near me. His back is to where I'm standing. And he says to me afterwards, somebody goes, "Who is that?" Ray goes, "That'd be my wife." So, it was just the shocking thing was the fact that, I wasn't loud enough. So anyway, just thought we'd share those funny stories with all of you who are listening this morning.
Well, it's because there were so many people in the room and we're just not used to that. You had modulated down
right?
over the course of the year. And so now
thought I could modulate
now we
down?
have to ramp. I can't believe I'm saying this, but now we have to ramp you up.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? Can you imagine if my cousin from Tennessee is listening today? He's going to be like, "She wasn't loud enough."
And you're asking her to get louder?
Get louder? Don't do that. Yeah. Everyone who knows me, that's like a rarity, let me tell you. So, so we had a great month. We're really excited. We have some interesting events coming up for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. We kind of killed it with 5 events in the month of October. That was a big do.
That was over the top.
That was over the top for us. That was a lot. So November, we have our breakfast on November 10th. Mm-hmm. And it is a really cool concept. First of all, it is a topic that everybody really enjoys and always wants to hear about. We have Jeremy Skillings coming to speak with us about Google My Business. He's a certified Google partner, and he's going to be talking to us about how to, get yourself out there. And I know
he's really good. I've spoken with him before.
Yeah,
he's really good.
He's great. And I will say, since Jill took over as our marketing and community relations manager, she's put us on Google My Business, and the amount of stuff we're getting popping up is just insane. So Jeremy's going to talk to us about that. Andrea Plaza is a marketing specialist, and she's going to be talking about building your brand on social media. So not the basics of how to hashtag or how to post, but how to make sure you're on brand and build your brand through your posting. No matter what you're posting, there's a way to stay steady. And whether it's your personal brand or your professional brand. So that will be very interesting. They're each speaking for about 15 minutes. Our sponsor is Friedman LLP, and they'll be speaking for 5 minutes to begin with. But the platform is virtual, but it's not Zoom, it's Remo. And I don't know if anybody's been on Remo before, but it is an interactive, conversational platform.
Okay.
So you come in, we'll welcome you in the lobby. You come into the room, you go to a table with your little picture of yourself, which is your little avatar. You can move from table to table just by clicking another table that you want to join. So say Claire and Tom are sitting at 2 different tables, and Claire said, I wanted to talk to Tom about this. She goes, clicks on Tom's table and pops in.
Oh, that's fascinating.
You can only hear the conversation at the table you're at.
Right.
Which is really cool. And then, so we'll have that kind of networking going on. You'll be able to interact with whoever you see there. And then we will go into presentation mode, which is more like Zoom. But the only people you'll see in presentation mode is the presenters. Okay. So they're bigger on your screen. So you'll have, some time to really listen to what they say. Then we're going to go back into conversation mode. And Jeremy will be at one table, and Andrea will be at another table. So you can specifically ask them questions that are very specific to you.
Cool. That's very cool.
So it's really cool. And so, you just have to be respectful of other people's time. You can only sit 6 people at a table. So once you've got your question answered, you're good. Don't be talking to somebody else. Kind of move yourself to a different table so somebody can come in and ask their questions.
Okay, cool. So the other table, will somebody kind of be like Ray would use a table captain to try to keep a little discussion going over there? Or we just sit silently, which is not going to happen.
Well, I'm hoping that if people are networking,
okay.
I may be asking our board members and committee members who might be on the call,
to try.
Hint, Tom Duffy.
Well, I'll be in a different time zone, but I hadn't made the connection that this was going to be a virtual event. So now I'm enthused, and I will.
Are you in an earlier time zone or a later time zone?
It'll be Colorado, so
earlier. So where it's actually, and our breakfast used to start at 7:45. This one starts at 8, so you get 15 extra minutes, which would be 7 where you are, which isn't right. Isn't Colorado only an hour?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. So you'll be 7 o'clock, and then you still have your whole day ahead of you because we'll be done by like 8:30.
We'll
How do you moderate the table so somebody doesn't sort of sit at a table and then not do anything and not move on?
We call them out by name.
We do that in person for sure. So I will be having conversations with our board members. We make sure even when you're in person in the room that our board members, our membership committee, are really looking to make sure no one's standing off by themselves. Yep. We're pretty we're pretty good with that. We've worked on it. It is one of our goals
to draw people out of the corners and
so I would say that if I would encourage someone to be, our members to be watching for that, and not even just our board members, another member. Pay it, think how you'd feel if you were by yourself because you just weren't quite comfortable.
Yep.
So, go join that person, find out who they are, what they're about. They may not be comfortable.
Yep.
Networking. I certainly will be floating around the room. So if I see someone alone, I'm going to join them and bring them to another table and introduce them to someone else. So, so it's cool. It's a really cool platform. We're going to be doing a run through with I've not used it yet. I've just been playing around with it. So we're going to do a run through today with our presenters and, kind of see how it goes.
How did you find it? How did you find that platform?
The platform's been around since I first heard about it when we first went into COVID. Many people who have we have our Spinnaker Awards. Many people have their awards. It's really for a much larger venue like that. You can actually have hundreds of people on different floors.
Wow.
Like seating 50, 80, 100 people on each floor and go up to 3 or 4 floors.
Got it.
So you can have a very huge event, a convention, that kind of thing with this platform.
Got it.
Because people can go where they want to go. So, it's really cool. So that's how we heard about it. And, we know everyone's zoomed out. So we didn't want to have this via Zoom. We want it to be more interactive. So we thought, we'll try it.
Yeah.
So we are offering it because we're trying it. We're offering it to everybody for free. So it's a complimentary event. You do have to register through our website for it because that's how you'll get the link to join us.
Yep.
And it's members, it's future members, it's guests of anybody. We'd love for people to try it out, and then we'd love to hear their feedback afterwards to know if it's
and
something.
Certainly the topic. That's usually our most attended topics. Our most interested folks are anything with social media, and digital anything.
Yeah,
are usually so well attended. And that's one of my favorite.
That is one of your favorites.
Put that in that tagline, and we'll sell out.
Yeah, there you go. One of Tom's favorites. But yeah,
you heard it here first, folks.
And I think what's really cool about this is if you're in a big room, we wouldn't have that ability to go and ask the presenters their individual questions. It'd be more like a large Q&A. Mm-hmm. And I thought this would be a great opportunity. And it came about because we don't want to get away from our live in-person things. But when we start we plan things 3 to 4 months out. The Delta variant, when we were planning this 3 to 4 months out, was we were looking at possibly shutting down again. So we had to come up with a way of how are we going to do this and do it better and do it differently. So that's what the point of it is. So hopefully we'll have a lot of people join us for that. And then we are having our holiday party at Red Tank on Wednesday, December 8th. Red Tank is a brewery in Red Bank.
That's correct.
We have 2 drink sponsors. So not only is your first drink free, your second drink is free. Our first drink sponsors are Elaine Chembray and Marie Noglos from Woodward Realty, Rumson. And our second drink sponsor, because he didn't like being beat out by having somebody else buy the drinks.
Especially those 2.
It was Tom Duffy from Jersey Shore Financial Advisors.
Because I love buying drinks.
You do. This is your 3rd time sponsoring First Drink. Something like that.
Yeah, we're seeing a trend here.
Yeah.
Or a problem.
We know Tom's on the BAH committee. And so speaking of Elaine Chembray, good morning. Or if someone wants to actually be, yes, exactly, Elaine. If somebody wants to actually be in person, you can come to our BAH on December 8th. You just didn't give me time to say that. But I like your marketing, your committee. Good girl. And good morning, Jessica Lee Evans. So we'll be doing that. We have some really, I can't reveal our food yet because we're waiting on details, but let me tell you something fun and delicious and yummy we're providing because Red Tank does not provide food. So we're bringing in our own food. And
which works out great, by the way, because I've been there where we've brought in food.
Yes, it's nice. Yep. And our favorite thing is our charity portion of our holiday parties. Absolutely. Our summer Christmas and July party, as well as our holiday party in December. And we are collecting gift cards, Amazon and Visas for Monmouth Daycare Center.
Correct.
And Tom, you were essential in that. Why those specific 2 cards?
Because they have a very diverse population that utilized Monmouth Daycare Center. So they didn't want to stipulate what people could use the gift cards for because everybody has different needs, and they're going to distribute those cards to the families there that may need them. And so, we really, they'll be able to use it for gasoline in the car. They can use it for groceries. They can use it for clothes, whatever. So they really didn't want to, limit you to, it's, only a coffee shop card.
Right.
That wouldn't necessarily be helpful.
And I know a lot of the people, we're small business. We promote our small businesses. We want you to go to our local small businesses, which will accept the Visa cards. But regarding Amazon, there are quite a few people who can't drive, who don't have the ability to get out to those places. And they, having stuff delivered to them or their work hours are crazy. So
and there are small businesses that sell on Amazon because there's the marketplace sellers, right?
Right.
So it's not just the giant corporation that you're supporting. There are marketplace sellers on there too.
Right. So we really we're trying. And speaking of small business, don't let me go too long because we do want to talk to Claire. But Small Business Month, Small Business Saturday is typically the Saturday after Black Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
EMAC is concentrating and helping promote our B2C businesses, our small businesses, retail, restaurants, that kind of stuff. We were just, thanks to Jill's hard work, we were just awarded the Amazon Small Business Champion, Neighborhood Champion, I think is what it's called. Not Amazon, Amex, American Express. Okay. Yeah, sorry, American Express Small Business Neighbor Champion or something like that. And so we're going to be spending a lot of time. We're trying to work with River Center and Red Bank Business Alliance to promote small business. And not just Small Business Saturday, but Small Business Holiday Season. We want and all year long, actually, to really promote those people who have, stuck it through or the new ones who have opened during the pandemic with positive, just we're going to do this. This was our plan and we're going with it. Right. So to try to support our local businesses in all of our towns, we started out doing this in Red Bank because we started a little bit late in our brainstorming ideas. But, next year we hope to really incorporate this and make it even bigger push in all of the towns that we support. So look for our posts and information on that. And I think, is that all of our announcements?
I think so.
Oh, well, we could move into January because we did start a brand new. Well, we started a brand new committee and we've had a lot of interest in it. And it's very cool because it's something I had been wanting to do for 4 years since I started with the chamber. And it's a Women in Business Committee.
Oh, that's great.
And it is just really about women networking to empower, support, collaborate with each other in the, as women in the professional arena. So we have a committee, and our first event is January 10th at your CBD store in Monmouth Beach.
Oh, cool.
It is we're basing it on wellness, and it's going to be just really it's a feel good event. It's just going to be nice. Manasquan Bank is our sponsor. They'll be providing the food, and Elena from your CBD store is allowing us to have it there at no charge. So it's really nice. It is at this point a women's only event, but we'll let you know if we change that. But you men can interact with us amazing women any other time. This is our time, guys. This is our time.
And how's that structured? Like, it's just a women only event and it's just a networking event?
It's
or is
a
there
network
a speaker or anything like that?
We're still working on the details. We do know that our host will probably speak for a couple minutes and our sponsor will speak for a couple of minutes. You gotta love working with women. I'm sorry. But we had one meeting with 4 of us and the whole thing was planned in one day. Yep. Like in 1 hour. It was like bam, bam. I'm not, but I love sharing that with the rest of the world because it's amazing what women can get done when they put their mind to it. I'm like, we need a chair. They're like, no, we don't. Look, we all just divided it up and did it. I'm like, if it's working, it's working. I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah. So, so that was kind of, we did a quick, who do we want to be? And then we did a reach out for more people to join our committee. Our next meeting is Monday. So we'll be working on a little bit more of the details and let you know. But it really is the whole main thing. And I believe we will be bringing in speakers of some sort, just quickly. Yeah. But just to, it's a woman in business thing. It's kind of cool.
That's great.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. And there's other things coming up, but I am just going to stop there with January 10th because it's right after the new year and I don't want people to get lost.
Right. That's probably better.
Yeah. And we're going to record this. So Marie and Ray on the 19th don't have to say any of this. I'll just play my voice back. You got that, Chris? We'll just replay the whole thing. I forgot to say we are at a Shared Universe podcast studio in Bellworks today. A Shared Universe.
Everybody's been waiting.
Yeah, I know. A Shared Universe podcast studio is our partner podcast studio. We have Chris on the boards with us today, which Chris is awesome. He gets us going. He makes us laugh. We're ready to start with a smile.
He laughs
every
at
time.
our jokes. So.
He does. I have to say this
calls into some question, but
I don't know if they pay him extra because nobody laughs at my jokes. And Chris has thought I was funny since day one, and I just admire him for that so much.
Well, we certainly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. So anyway, Claire.
Hi.
Oh, Claire's here.
So Claire. I have to say, I know when you joined the chamber, and you joined the chamber during that year that didn't exist.
Yep, we did.
You guys came to our first outdoor event at the park.
Hot.
It was so hot, wasn't it?
Hot.
And then we're still outside. We're all wearing masks. It was June of 2020. Yep. We were at the park in Middletown and we're all like going, ooh. And then, I know I would walk far away from people to the shade, take my mask off and breathe a little bit and then come back to the group. But it was a fun night.
It was really fun. It was.
And then you joined us after that.
We did.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, about Caring Transitions and what you guys do.
So a little bit about myself or the business or.
Oh, honey, I'm going to try to be quiet now. It's all you.
Whatever. Just tell us things that you don't want us to use against you sometime in the future.
All right. So I should probably leave now. So, I'll talk a little bit about Caring Transitions, and that might segue into other stuff. But so, Caring Transitions is actually a franchise, and we are the Monmouth County franchisee. We specialize in helping seniors, well, really anybody, but seniors mainly, in downsizing, relocating. Say, mom or dad is living in their family home, 5,000 square feet, whatever it is, been there for 50 years, and they have to move. They have to downsize. It's time. Mm-hmm. It's really, really overwhelming, and it's really, really just challenging from so many levels. And often the kids aren't around, they're far away, the kids are busy, however, whatever it is. And emotionally, it's too much. Forget physically, but emotionally, it's also too much. So we can come in and we help do that, right? We'll help you figure out what to keep, figure out what not to keep, figure out what can fit in your new home, figure out.
So actually like hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on
right.
in the home with the people who are downsizing and moving. Sometimes we work with the children, but mainly with the adults. And we always say we're sort of one part, senior relocation specialist and one part family therapist, because there's a lot that goes into that.
For
so,
sure.
That's really what we do. So we help. So we work with a lot of the senior living centers or facilities around here. We work with the those are real estate agents. A lot of people who know people who are moving, and a lot of people don't know that service exists.
Sure.
And a lot of times we say what we do, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I really could have used you to help me with my mom 3 months ago or something like that."
Right.
Well, it's a relatively new phenomenon because you have like 10,000 people turning 75 every day right now.
Yeah.
So it is a relatively new.
Senior services are becoming a really, really big.
I tell my college students, if you want job security, find something to help out senior folks because you'll work for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's true, and it's really true. And people, when you're moving, you need a realtor because you can sell your house. You need a moving company to actually physically move boxes, but you don't necessarily think about the other things that go into it and the other things that you need. So that's kind of where we come in and offer like a white glove full service. The only thing we don't do is the physical moving, but we work with the moving company. So on move day, we'll be there. We'll tell the moving pump, don't take this, and we'll be at the other end if you're moving locally to help the moving companies unload, and then we'll unpack everything. And so,
wow, that's pretty cool. I want to do a shout out. We have one of our new members, Andrea from IOIO TV, listening this morning. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining us. So you can always do that anytime. We can interrupt the next speaker. Anytime you want to join us, we'll interrupt the next speaker, Claire, and say hello to people. But so that's one new person at least we know listening to what you do.
Sure.
There you go. And I will say that the networking at EMAC is brilliant because we were reached out by one of the new members.
Oh, great.
Allowed to name names?
Oh, heck yeah.
So Jennifer Jensen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She's and she reached out to us to talk about doing some collaboration together. So
great.
that whole networking, it really does.
It does work. It's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
If you use it. But so that's what we do. And it's interesting because that's neither Ed nor I. We're serial entrepreneurs. We've had businesses our entire lives of different natures. It's not what we thought we wanted to do. We didn't know we wanted to do that, but when I had a shipping company for years and I sold it, and I decided I wasn't going to go back into business. I said, I'm going to be a social worker because I want to do something to give back. I want to do something. I want to be like useful. That's the wrong word, but I want to.
You want to give back.
I
want to do
sounds
something.
like helpful to me.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
something to help people. And I thought social work it really called to me, and I was ready to go back to school, and I was ready to do all that. And then this opportunity sort of presented itself. I thought that's kind of like. It's not right. It's commercial. It's a for-profit business, but it's helping people.
For-profit businesses can certainly help people, and people need everything. And if you think about, there's a lot of social workers out there. I don't know how many people are out there that do what you do
exactly,
and that are a friendly, non-threatening ear to listen. And they're not in therapy, but they have somebody to vent to, and they have somebody to share stories with, and they have, it is an amazing thing that you're able to give back.
And they listen, and oftentimes our customers listen to us, whereas the child or the niece or the nephews, they're saying, "Mom, you can't. It won't fit in your new house," but they won't listen because it's family, and we never listen. We never listen to our family.
No,
they
who does that, right?
But when they have someone like.
Well, Claire measured, and it will fit. So
yeah.
Did you measure? No. Well, Claire did. So.
And we actually have this, and it took me forever to figure out how to use it. But we have this space planning software. So we'll go in and we'll actually like the table. We'll measure it, and then we'll take a picture of it, and we'll show how it looks. It's not going to fit. It's just.
I'm sorry, but this was when you had 10 children living at home with you. You're moving into a house that has room only for 4.
Exactly, and you'd be amazed how attached people are to dining room tables.
Exactly, because think about what's coming up this month is Thanksgiving. Like that is one of your big family meals, birthdays. I'm not attached to a physical thing, but yes, I can see how that would have all the memories of so many years.
Have you just replaced one? I know exactly what we're talking
about.
about.
Okay, how hard was that for you, Tom?
It was pretty difficult because the furniture, I moved twice in the last 2 years. But so our dining room set really didn't fit with the rest of the decor. And I picked this set out, 20 some odd years ago.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of difficult for us to let it go. And we were getting to the point where we were trying to sell it, and we were getting to the point where nobody was interested because it seats 10. It's a monster table.
Yeah.
And so we finally did find somebody to take it, but they didn't want the rest of the stuff. They didn't take the sideboards and the hutch and all that kind of stuff. And so, but it was tough. We were worried that I was going to have to cut this thing up and put it out to the curb.
It is
cutting it up is the worst part. I can't imagine having to do that. That I could throw it out as a whole because somebody might come take it. Yeah. But to cut it.
Yeah. Fortunately, we got a family. They gave us a couple bucks for it. They came and they got it. They took the chairs, and so it went to another home. So we're happy.
Another home for more.
Yeah.
Sorry, we digressed, but we got very excited at your table comment, Claire.
But it's I think it's the feeling that you're trying to provide and that you can provide for folks. Because in my work, I work with a lot of seniors also, but there isn't anybody in that space to provide that. Right. Yeah. And I'm always afraid they're going to ask me to do it because I won't be able to say no.
Yeah. Right. Well, now you can say yes because I have specialists.
I got a guy. He's not here right now.
No, he is. He's there. He's just pasty. We're telling you. Right, Ed?
He's out. He's out in the truck. Yeah.
But it is hard, it's heartbreaking for people as well because we try not to create landfill. We don't want to create landfill. But the reality is nobody wants a china cabinet anymore, right? Or, it's...
which is such a bummer.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we'll do anything we can to upcycle, to donate, to sell, to do whatever we can because you don't want to create landfill either. But,
right. Yeah. Right.
We as a society have too much stuff.
Yeah.
We actually created a rule in our house now. If one thing comes in, two things have to go out. It's a rule. I don't say I follow the rule, but
it's more like a guideline. I was going to say this all the time. It's guidelines, Yeah.
Or so I could bring in one thing and then I put out two things of Ed's.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
Somehow I knew that's where we were going. And right now it looks like Ed was one of those two things.
Sorry, Ed. Poor Ed. Poor Ed.
He's not here to defend himself.
He's not. I think you took him out on purpose. And I think you said, "Oh, honey, pick up this 1,000-pound box for me so that you can, Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yep. You did it on purpose because you really, Okay. We're in on your secrets, Claire. Now we know. You come across as a really nice person, but no.
Which means
you are. You really are.
You fit in perfectly. That's what she's trying to say.
It's so funny.
That's why you found a home at EMAC,
We were talking about that last night. We were talking about interviewing people and hiring new people. We said, anybody can be nice for an hour.
Right.
That is true.
Nice for an hour.
Well, but not everybody can be nice for an hour. True. Anybody can be nice for an hour, but not everybody can be nice for an hour.
That's true.
And we just hired, when Jill got promoted, we hired Sandy, who is our new assistant in the office. And, the skill she has is the way she is on the phone, the way she is in front of people. She is just warm, smiling, welcoming. She says the right things instinctively. She's just, and you can't teach that. So we can teach anything else.
Yep.
And if we can't, then we find some other way to get around it. Those skills you can't teach, and those skills are so valuable when dealing with people.
It's so funny you said that because I said exactly the same thing last night. I said, when you're interviewing someone, you're not really looking for what their skills are because skills can be taught and can be learned.
Exactly.
You're looking, is this person, can I gel with this person? Are they warm? Are they welcoming? Are they willing and open?
Are they compassionate?
Yeah, those are the things you're looking for, not necessarily the skills, because you can, obviously if you're going to be a brain surgeon, I probably would want you to have the skills.
Yeah, I think I'd hire someone skilled.
We're not too worried about your temperament because I'm going to be asleep while the work gets done.
Exactly. But I'd like you to know the frontal versus the rear lobe of my brain would be really good. Yeah. No, you're right. But in certain, especially in situations where you're dealing with the general public, which is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And so you're looking for people.
We are looking for people. We're always looking for people.
Did you know that EMAC has a job posting location
I
on our site.
didn't.
No, many people don't. And we're trying to get
interesting.
more and more of our members to understand that, so
Yeah.
that the more postings we have on there for jobs, the more people will start going to it. And we would like to be a resource for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's offered to you at no charge with your membership.
Oh, excellent.
And we have a couple of other postings up there already.
Okay.
So
I'll send you some.
you get to do it yourself. Yeah, we'll walk you through it. It's easy.
So is there anything in any type of person or any skill set that you're particularly looking for?
So,
or maybe it's an attitude. Obviously the attitude.
Well, attitude first and foremost, but it's so we don't have regular work, right? We have work when we have work. I mean, we have regular work, but it's, you know, we only bring people in when we have jobs.
Sure.
So that's slightly challenging to do.
So it's more giggish.
Yeah, it's more giggish. It's exactly it.
Oh, that's it. You can jam while you're doing it.
Yeah, there you go. And it's
not what I meant, but okay.
Maybe
you make jam in between for your customers. I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's quite all right. So sometimes it's not it's not necessarily glamorous. It's rewarding because you're working with seniors, but it's not glamorous. Sometimes you're in a basement, you know, hauling up bags of stuff. Other times you're sitting with someone talking about whether to, you know, what they're going to do with their things, you know. So it needs to be people who are prepared to do the non-glamorous bits, but also be rewarded with
okay, well, that's
working with people. So
warm fuzzies.
Yeah, warm fuzzies. Yeah,
warm fuzzies is an old. People don't use warm fuzzies anymore.
No, they don't.
I love warm fuzzies. Anyway, so you need somebody who is definitely compassionate.
Yeah,
and there's a selling point to what you're looking for is flexible hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very flexible hours.
Absolutely.
And they can probably, I mean, do you have a dress code for what they have to wear when they're at someone's house because they're getting dirty and packing?
No,
and
comfortable
clothes. So like you don't need a wardrobe. No. You can just wear your yoga pants.
That's what I wear.
You know, and like, so there's benefits. I'm all about looking at the benefits of a job these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have extremely, as we just said, I'm hardly in town this month, very flexible hours. And that makes such a difference because it makes, you know.
That's
so anyway, benefits to your job are those things.
Yeah, and if you can't work a certain shift that we have, so that's fine. We understand that, right? We're not, we don't.
Yeah, it's not a 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's not a 9
Monday
to 5,
through Friday.
so
you have to be there.
Yeah, we don't hold it against you if we call up and say, "Can you work?" and you say, "No, I'm sorry, I can't work today." Okay. Mm-hmm. You have a life. So,
yeah. And that's probably one of the reasons they like this job because they have the flexibility. So if they
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're funny. And we make
I'm telling you.
We make it a fun workplace.
That's what we do too. I'm telling you. I mean, I know. I knew the day I met you that it was going to be perfect, but yeah. So, yeah, we've actually missed you. So hopefully you can get out to see us a little bit more often.
We keep saying, okay, we're going to go to this one. We're going to go to this one, but it's just, you know, busy and life gets in the way. And
yeah.
I say that a lot.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way.
It does.
Life gets in the way of everything. But that's life.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't have life, what's our alternative? Ed. Sorry. Love you, Ed.
You gotta give Chris a heads up when you're gonna.
I wonder if he's watching this.
I know. Did you tell him? I was saying, did you set him up so he can watch?
We both came off Facebook, so we made the cut. Except I have one Facebook profile to manage our business page. But
you can watch it through that too.
So I am gonna have to.
You have to go back and watch, and you're gonna have to show Ed.
Edit out the bits
wait till he's feeling better because if he laughs, it might not be too comfortable for him. So we maybe need to let it go. He might not think any of this is funny, but we're enjoying
I think it's hilarious.
That's too bad, Ed. It's, lighten up.
I don't know. He's pretty translucent now. I don't think he can get any lighter. Oh God. Okay. So, Elaine, come to BAH. She misses you.
That's next week, right?
No, that's December 8th.
December 8th.
Oh yeah, no, I think we will.
Okay.
I think we'll come to that.
Yeah. And guess what? That's complimentary also.
Right.
EMAC has just given away the house the last 3 months of this year. We've just
excellent.
Sounds like a theme.
Our BAH committee said we want to give this as a gift to our members for the holidays, and so that's what that committee did. And the BNB for the Remo decided to do the same. They followed you actually.
Yep.
Yeah. So, which is nice.
Well, that's a scary prospect.
Yeah, you're.
They may regret that.
Yeah. But it won't happen all the time, but it's nice to be able to give back
It is
too.
nice.
It's nice to be able to celebrate our members, bring them back, enjoy that kind of thing. So
Well, certainly, to celebrate, that where we are, given where we've been the last 2 years. It's fantastic. I'm glad we're all able
nice
to do it.
To be able to get back in person and start having some sort of sense of normalcy again.
Yeah. And it's funny because we keep saying the new normal and what is the new normal, and I don't think you can identify new normal because I don't think we're there.
No, I don't.
And
think
I don't know if
either.
we'll ever be there.
I don't think we ever were.
Well, we know we weren't
there
normal.
There never was a normal. So.
I never was normal. So I think you thought is the way things were and the way things were supposed to be because they'd always been that way.
Yeah.
And now it's just.
But they were different from the way they were before that. So
that's true.
That's
true,
my point.
Tom. Yeah, things in 2000 and 2010 were very different than things in 1950. So yes,
Certainly.
You're right. The normal changes on a regular basis. This was just an abrupt change.
Yeah, it was kind of like
quite
abrupt and rather extreme.
Yeah, abrupt and extreme. Yes. But it's one thing I've noticed about, and I don't know if you're noticing this when you get in to see your clients or when you're working with other people, but people are generally happier.
Yeah, and nicer.
When they're in a group doing what they want to be doing. I can't say that they're always, I have to say, I've heard horror stories for the poor people in retail and restaurant, hospitality business.
Oh
people are not being as nice to them anymore. And it's hard. And I feel terrible for them. People are frustrated and they're impatient and you can't find anything you need because there's cargo ships sitting out full of stuff that can't get to the stores. And so, they're having it rough, but in our situation, what we're finding is when we are back in person, people are so glad to be gathering and seeing people. And, we are lucky enough, I think, to experience that feeling with the people that come out with us. So
I'm surprised that people aren't being nice. I to be fair, I don't talk to a lot of retail business owners,
right.
But I'm surprised people aren't still being nice to.
No, they've really lost they were. But they're starting to really lose their patience. And, I can see that. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. But it's not the person in front of you.
It's not their fault. That poor person's, at least that person's working.
Yeah.
Why be mad at that person? They're at least working. Be mad at the people who aren't showing up for the other shifts that they can't stack the whole restaurant,
Last weekend, we ordered some food. We were trying to order food, and the place we were trying to order from, their phones were acting up.
Yeah.
And so I ended up actually driving over there, walking in, putting my order in. And I said, and I tried the phone while I was standing there and the phone didn't work. So they were obviously having some fun. I said, I thought you guys were on strike. And the gal, she goes, well, we're close. And I said, I bet you are.
Oh my God. I mean, it's so sad because you're seeing all these restaurants and stuff closing now. Like we're now closed for lunch because we can't,
can't staff.
Right. They're allowed to have seat full capacity now.
Yeah.
And they can't because they don't have the staff to serve full capacity. So you go in there, you're standing in line for 2 hours for dinner. You see all these empty tables and you're like, I don't get it. Why can't they put me there? Because they have no one to serve you.
Because you'll be sitting there by yourself for
one of
very long time.
One of our members is, and one of mine and Ray's favorite places to go. He's got 5 wait staff for a Friday night and a Saturday night. And it's a big restaurant. Yeah. And, he's like, it's killing him. They had to do the whole shutdown. They had to spend all the money to adjust. Yeah. And now they can't even.
I had a friend who has a existing restaurant in Long Branch, and they've opened a new one. I think it's in Rumson, but they can't open it because they can't find any people to. So they've had the building, they've got the permits, it's all kitted out, it's ready to open, but they actually can't open it because they can't find any people to work in it. Yeah, it's really
I was thinking the other day, New Jersey passed the minimum wage of $15 an hour, which was still 3 years away.
Yeah,
not anymore. I mean, people aren't going to work for less than that, and it's interesting. Which then makes
all the people go.
So that Ray and
where are they?
So I don't have the answer, but I can tell you the suppositions that Ray and I have come up with. If you'd like to hear our take on it, is what we think is a lot of different things. I think a lot of people in the service industry finally got fed up.
Yeah.
So when they weren't getting when they didn't have to work, they had time to reflect, enjoy their lives with their families, and figure out I do not want to deal with that anymore. So they've gone back to school. They've gone to a trade. They've done something else.
Yep. Okay.
Then there were the other people who were getting paid so much not to work, and they weren't paying. Some of them may not have been paying rent.
Yeah.
So they have a stash of cash.
Yeah.
They probably have more money now than they've had in a very long time.
Yeah, it's a good.
So they don't need to go back to work yet.
Yeah.
And they can be picky. They can afford to wait for what they want and the amount of money they want.
That's a good point.
That's going to go away.
That will go away.
But I think it's a delayed reaction, kind of like all the manufacturing and everything is delayed. So everything that we did in the moment is having all this repercussions coming back. And, the only thing we can do is continue to encourage people to try to make, like we were talking about, make our workspace fun.
Yeah.
Because people have realized, I noticed even a lot of corporate people who were going into the city who now, if they have the opportunity to work from home, they're like, I can coach my kids. I can enjoy my family dinner. I can run in the morning, still start work and work the same number of hours and have
probably not more hours, probably more.
And, still have a great quality of life.
Yeah.
So I think there's that big shift in that area as well. So I think you're just dealing with everything being new and different.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
And, so I wish I could answer the questions and say, everybody, they're going to come back. I don't know. That's just my supposition of what I'm observing when I'm out and about. I personally don't know anyone who's not working.
Well, there's going to be a rebalancing of that trade-off as to what compensation, what level is going to make it worth them going back to that life.
And it's going to be really interesting because now people are on inflated salaries, right? Or inflated wages because everybody's paying more and more to attract people to come back. Then you're going to get a bunch of people now going to need to go back to work at some point. Are they going to come in at lower salary? Is it going to adjust back down?
Have you, are you paying?
Have we set the new bar? I think I saw Bank of America is minimum wage now for tellers is starting $21 an hour or something like that. Guaranteed to go to 25 in
a very short amount of time. Yes, I've heard that, and that's not the only bank. I have heard other banks paying tellers $21 to $25.
And how Amazon are going to staff their warehouse that they're opening in Tinton Falls, I have no idea. It's crazy.
It's crazy, and I just, I wish that. Yeah, I can't tell you what I wish because it's probably not appropriate. Oh, look. Okay, so my cousin in Tennessee is listening. Greg, I don't know if you heard the comment about my funny, loud voice, but Greg says Claire's accent is the best. Love my cousin's accent as well, of course, because we're rednecks. We're in Tennessee. He has a better accent than I do, but I can put it on if I need to.
I was going to say, when you get mad, does your accent come out really strong?
No, it doesn't. Does yours?
Yes.
So
Mom's really mad. She sounds really English right now. That's the normal thing.
So mine is it's very Southern. I can do it when I want to do it. Because it is ingrained and it is easy because the Southern accent is just the whole Southern way of life is just so much slower and kinder and sweeter. But no, I don't, but I can turn it on if necessary. And, but under
what circumstances would that be necessary?
Would you like to hear a little bit of it now, Tom? Claire, it is so nice to have you here on our podcast.
You're making that up.
I am not.
No,
that is it, honey.
I think you're embellishing a little.
Oh, no. Oh, no. If Greg could call in right now, you would hear it firsthand. And this is not made up. This is the way I learned to speak. I can't spell. I can't spell because my mama, when I moved to New Hampshire, I moved from Tennessee to New Hampshire when I was in second grade. My mama would give me my spelling words and I'd get them right. And then I'd go to school. And I never heard those words before because my teacher from New Hampshire didn't say them the same way my mama did. So it took me years. Oh, bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
I love you, Greg. So I can't spell because, I've learned now, but it was hard.
Thank goodness for spell check.
Right? Thank goodness. They did not have, I'm a little bit older. They did not have spell check when I was trying to get through third grade, let me tell you. But so
one of my closest girlfriends is from Nashville, and but she now lives in Pennsylvania, and she doesn't,
which is a whole different accent.
A whole different accent. But when she gets mad at her kids too, her accent comes straight back.
No, mine doesn't.
Bless her heart. Bless your heart is one of her go-to
bless
phrases.
Its little heart. Yeah. I know. I know. Poor Chris is not going to. Chris is just not going to make it through the day. And what's really hard is I'm having a hard time now coming back because I haven't done it that long, like for that long of a time frame in a while.
I wondered if that was going to stick now.
It might slide back in a little bit.
You'll get home and Ray will be like, "What's wrong with you?"
My kids.
I'm going to get a phone call from Jill.
So, oh my God, Greg, you're killing me. God love her. Anyway, Greg, next time you're up here, you have to come as a guest on the podcast. You just let me know when you're back up in the area. Okay. Which is very rare, but anyway. So I forgot what I was going to say. It was something funny about accents though. Oh, my girls both went to James Madison. One's there, one went in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Well, they used to crack up because I'd say y'all. Y'all is a great word. I don't know if anybody around here uses it. Y'all is the best word ever, right?
Word, yeah.
My oldest calls me up. And she's talking to me and she said, y'all did this. And I went, oh, you have been making fun of me my whole life, your whole life, for me saying y'all, and you just pulled that. And now, my sister and I, so when we would drive from New Hampshire to Tennessee to go visit family, we would drive down 81, which is where James Madison is. So I've been passing this. And there's this farm on the left-hand side of 81 as you're heading south with red rails right close to Harrisonburg. And my sister and I would always start singing Country Roads Take Me Home right at that location. So when we would go visit my grandparents or relatives when the kids were little, past the red fence, have to sing Country Roads. Do you know both of them now? Because of being in Virginia, know every single word better than I do? Yeah, I'm just saying. Oh, Greg's going to come on the show. We'll talk offline and you'll let me know, babe. Can't wait to see you. So, so anyway, back to reality. But your accent is awesome. I mean, we all love your accent, so don't get rid of it.
It's probably a little bit stronger as well because I went to the UK last week. So,
okay.
And it seems to come back. And if Ed goes with me and we're with my family, we'll start talking. He'll look at me. He's like, I need subtitles.
Do you know I have to? It's nice to hear him say that because I have to sometimes do that on TV. Ray, please put on closed caption. I cannot follow this at all.
I don't know if you watch Peaky Blinders.
I have.
I needed subtitles for that because they mumble and the accents are so strong in their Birmingham accents, which is different to mine. So I couldn't understand.
What accent is yours?
It's South London. It's sort of a it's a non-accent. I guess
it's like a common country accent, but not.
Right?
Yeah, it's the default.
The default accent. Oh, you're not as special. Forget you.
But I do. So I've lived here nearly 30 years. No, over 30 years now. But I do try to keep it.
I was to say because there's so many stories I could tell you about transitioning from Tennessee to New Hampshire because you're not talking New Jersey in the middle.
No, that's very polar opposite.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole lot of stuff that went on.
Yeah.
But I think what made me stop with my accent was Ray, who had grown up in New Jersey his whole life. When we went down to visit, he would start speaking with a Southern accent. And I was like, that is the fakest thing I've ever heard in my life. You do not speak like that. You do not. And so I think that was when I said, oh my gosh, I am not doing that. I don't live here anymore. That is not the way I speak. I think the difference is that you learn your word. The way of speaking English in England is different than the way of speaking English in the United States.
It is.
So though it is the same language, your accent is not an accent. It is an accent, but we have an accent.
Yeah.
So it's, our accent is the way we say our words, the way you say your words.
Right.
And it's just.
But I don't really hear the East Coast accent either. I don't hear like New York, New Jersey. I mean, I do. I mean, if you're going to get coffee or something like that.
It depends on what part of New York you're talking about too. Yeah.
That to me isn't an accent. That's just like a normal, that's the American accent. Right? But then when I go south or somewhere or Boston or something, you know what I mean? It's, then I hear accents. Right. But if I'm just talking to you when you're speaking with your Jersey accent, I don't hear it as an accent. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I don't have much. I have to say, I don't have a whole lot of the Jersey accent.
No, you don't.
No, I don't, because I think I'm the blend of where all these places I've lived and spoken in my life.
But when I go to England, everybody says, oh my gosh, you sound so American.
Really?
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, again, I have this like mid-Atlantic twang. I think so. And it's also the words. I still put petrol in the car, but sometimes I might go on vacation instead of going on holiday. Yeah. So there's things like that kind of.
And I have to tell you, my sister is very intelligent. And she picks words that she likes better that are the same thing and uses them. There's nothing wrong with using holiday over vacation. It's just commonplace to say. Yeah. So she goes on holiday. And I'm always so jealous she's on holiday.
It just sounds more fancy.
Right. Yeah. And she was born in the South too. So I don't know how she got to holiday, but whatever.
She made a choice.
She made a choice and she goes on holiday. But yeah, and I just think that's so much, it's classy. Yeah. Man. You just go on holiday.
And you can yell at people, and if you do it with an accent, they don't think you're being mad.
No, and my kids, my kids are very into drama. They were both actors, actresses, performers, and the whole thing through high school, and their favorite accent. So we will often have British conversation in our house.
Oh, that's
because
funny.
They will, and my husband as well loves to do that. And then there's Monty Python, who's part of our lives. So
yeah.
There's a lot of, we do way more British in our house than we do. But the difference between, can you do it Australian? This is
No.
so off topic. I told you we might go off topic.
No, I'm terrible at accents. Everything sounds like
the same.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time. The Australian and English are very similar,
There are
except very different.
If you put two people side by side, you can tell the difference. But I often get asked, are you Australian or English? Especially now I have that kind of mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, now that you've screwed it up and put us mush in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about you? What accents can you do, Tom? Can you do any accents?
None.
Can you do Bugs Bunny or like anything like that?
Probably not.
Probably not. No, even if you did, you're like, Jennifer, shut up now, and then don't ask me that question anymore.
Don't put me on the spot.
Chris, how about you? Can you do accents?
I've got no accents.
You got nothing?
No, my mom was from Texas too. So
And you don't have any of that?
You must say y'all sometimes or something.
He did get very excited when I mentioned the y'all world.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, the best word ever. Yeah. It is. So
anyway,
back to
What were we talking about?
I don't know. Nothing we're supposed to be
transitioning.
I don't know. Like what we did say when we come in here, we'll ask you why you joined the chamber.
Yeah.
We'll ask you about your business, and then we'll just take it from there. And it may or may not stay on topic, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So did we? I don't know if we talked about why I joined the chamber.
No, we really didn't. We just
No,
talked about
yeah.
where you were and when, but we didn't talk about why. Why did you find us? Why did you join?
Well, so I knew about you because I think you know this, but I do some volunteering for SCORE, which is the business mentoring for small businesses. So I knew about you guys, and from that, and so when Ed and I were thinking, how do we get into the small business? You know, how do we network locally? Because both of us come from backgrounds that aren't really so much local businesses. That we didn't really know where to start. So I said, well, I think that EMAC would be a really great place for us to start because it's Monmouth County. It's not one chamber restricted to one town. And so there'll be a bigger reach. And we're Monmouth County, our franchise or our territory is Monmouth County.
The whole county.
Yeah. So, it's really eastern Monmouth.
Which is where we
where you are. So, so we thought that sounds like a good place for us to start to network and to meet local businesses. We actually haven't been as good at doing that as I would like us to be.
We've missed you. But.
Yeah, it's a timing thing more than anything.
It's my job to be there, so I'm at everyone. But you know,
and I'm on the board, and so
you have to be.
She says I have to be there, so I have to be there.
Yeah,
so.
And I think and when we were there, we were very active in the beginning because our business wasn't as busy. Because let me tell you, opening up a business that deals in senior living centers
during COVID
facilities during COVID, it's probably not the best timing. So in the beginning, we did an awful lot of work networking and creating contacts, etc., because we didn't have a lot of work, and that's now slowly changed. And we have it's so important to network, and it's so important to keep developing your business. And I say this all the time: if I'm mentoring a business person through SCORE, work on your business, not work in your business.
Sure. Yes.
And right now we are working 100% in our businesses and doing everything that I would never
advise
someone else to do. But it's,
it's hard when you're a small staff because I know I have spent since the pandemic as well, really trying to focus on that for running the chamber. I have tried to focus on working on the chamber, on its growth, on its, building, what our programming is. But because it's me, and 2 part-time, Jill and now just Sandy since September. So it was just Jill and I for the longest time.
Yeah.
Bringing in and have to do the work. There's no one else to do the work.
That's right.
And so where does that, but like, I would love to be out networking for the chamber at other networking events, not my own networking events, but the timing on doing that. So it's a common issue that a lot of small businesses have.
Especially small growing businesses that maybe you don't have the cash flow to invest in people. You need the business to pay for the people, but you need the people to
run the business. Yes,
so
exactly.
It's a small business.
And that's we've kind of tried to position the chamber as kind of like that outsourced partner for a lot of folks. So a lot of the marketing that we do and that kind of stuff, so that people that don't have the time to do everything they can kind of try to outsource some of that stuff to us. Especially on the marketing and the social media.
Yeah, I mean, we do. The podcast is one of the things we offer. A Shared Universe Studio offers our members an opportunity to come in and try this on their own.
Oh, do you really?
For free, an hour.
Phenomenal.
You get a special, an amazing tech.
Yeah,
they'll come in, they'll walk you through it, and then if you choose to continue and do a series, they will give you a discount on it.
Okay,
so that's something you get as a member to help you with your marketing.
Yep.
We do e-blasts, which reach out to over 1,800 people. You can use those to reach our contacts and help get it out there. On our website, which most people don't know, You can do the job postings.
Yep.
You can do member to member deals. So if you want to offer something specific, a deal specifically to other members, you can post that on our website.
Okay.
You can offer public deals on our website, and all of that is included in your membership fee.
Yes.
So we are trying to be that extra hand to help you promote, and we do our best to help promote you.
And we do a really bad job of that. And,
You know,
yeah.
I wish I could say that you're the worst one. I wish I could. I will have to tell you that the winning profile completion of all of our members, 200 plus, is Tom. Tom is the only one that has the highest score on completing his profile on the member directory. So if those of you are looking to get more for your money, it's not a super quick thing. You have to think about it. It takes time, and you can build on it, but you can get there. And it's
information. So it's talking a little bit about your business, your tagline, your employees, all that kind of stuff.
Say your tagline. I don't know if Claire knows it. It's the best.
What's your tagline?
So Jersey Shore Financial Advisors, protecting your family's wealth from predators, creditors, and senators.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that the best?
Jill's rolling on the
Jill's
floor.
rolling. That is Jill's. No, Jill's actually off today. The first time she's taken a day off, and I can't tell you how long. Jill's off today, but she is going to be. I'm going to have to replay it for her because she's going to be like, "Oh, there."
That's a great. But taglines. We always. I had a LinkedIn person like helping set up one of our profiles, and she said the tagline is it. She said if you don't draw someone with your tagline, you're done. It's people have like
it's the easiest thing. Yeah,
people have like a 5-second memory. They don't, they're not going to read a whole big long detailed bio.
No.
Sure.
You have to catch them with your tagline.
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 There you go. What country was that? Yeah. So you found us. That's what you thought, and then you came.
And we came to a few networking events.
You did. You came to the park. You came to
the
Rory's.
hottest one in the world.
Yes. And then Rory's was shaded in by the water. So
Yeah.
that was a little
so
nicer.
nice there. That was lovely. And then, now we can think. And that one was another one. It was also quite warm.
It was in the summer outside during COVID.
Well, you guys came to Seafarer also.
Yes, the Seafarer. That was the
nice.
one. But Seafarer was lovely. And it was really hot as well. And we come from meetings, and Ed was in a suit and tie, and I was in heels. And who wears heels anymore?
Chris and I are standing there in shorts.
Yeah, most of us were. I would say, living in this area, always in the summertime when you live by the beach, there are flip flops, shorts, and some kind of shirt that you can just throw on and walk in.
Keep them in the car.
You keep them in the car. Lesson learned. No more heels and suits for you guys at the beach.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then we came to the one in Seabright, maybe.
Yeah, that was at Rory's.
It was at Rory's. Yeah. And then we started getting busy because then I think that was around September-ish. And
Seafair was in August. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you came for the right reasons. I mean, sometimes we get folks that'll join expecting us to drive business to them, which is not really that's not how we work. And so I always like to say that you're not really in business unless you're part of the business community.
Yeah,
which is
true.
Which is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Good.
We might have to take that as our EMAC tagline.
That's actually
that probably might work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Well, because it goes back to that whole working on your business, not in your business, and because you never know, and especially for us in our business, right? So we're networking with a bunch of people, but everybody else knows other people. It's not just, it's like this whole 6 degrees of separation
exactly.
thing.
Exactly. It's like you're building a network. None of the people you meet may be a client.
No.
At some point.
But
they all know people.
That's
and
right.
we see that too. A lot of our members, we're starting to have a switch now, but a lot of our members are business to business.
Yeah.
And our business to consumer members are like, well, you know what? Every person is a consumer. Every single person is a consumer.
Yeah.
And even if you're business to business, the business is your consumer. So there is the networking and building. You can never know enough people who do enough things.
Right.
And our business is business to consumer, but a lot of our networking is with businesses because a lot of our, partners are going to be attorneys, like senior attorneys, estate planning attorneys, or senior living centers or facilities, or realtors, funeral homes, possibly. We deal with some estates and stuff like that. So there's this big kind of group of businesses. And then, you're a professional, I'm at a networking event and your mom needs to move something, and you're a professional, you're working, 100 hours a week. You need some support with that. So,
and I think one of the other really things, and I think this is one of the things we'll concentrate in the women in business, is that it's also networking for information.
Yes.
I mean, I can call Tom and say, Tom, you've been running your business for this many years. Did you ever run into this situation?
Yep.
I need help.
Yep.
The breadth of people and the depth that we have
Yep.
of how many years people have been in different businesses. You've said yourself, you guys are serial entrepreneurs.
Yep.
How much you have to offer anybody who have a quick question. So the networking is not just about getting business. It's building those connections that strengthen everything you do in your business.
It's true.
And then in your life, because, there is
What's the fun part?
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Right.
I mean, seriously, what you are as we've mentioned, first string sponsor here. So we'll have our business after hours. And then there's a group of people who will literally go out to dinner afterwards because
That's great.
they've bonded and become friends. And it's really neat.
It is. I think it's and this is a great group of people because nobody's stuffy or,
can you imagine being stuffy around me?
No.
I'm sorry, but you would, if you're stuffy, you don't probably want to be.
Yeah, you don't.
Because I am not serious enough for someone who takes things very seriously to, it's just not,
because I think sometimes,
and not that I am the chamber, but I tend to be the face of what
Right.
people see first.
Yeah.
We do have we have an amazing group of people, really. Really.
And I think over my experience, my tenure in being involved with the chamber,
Just a few years.
A life sentence, I think, it's more appropriate. But
by choice.
By choice, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a life sentence.
For the most
Some
part.
of it.
We're not having that conversation.
We're not having that conversation. You're on your way out, babe.
Yeah. More ways than one. But developing that sense of community. But the folks that have come in that had expected, instant business, or that they were going to do business with everybody in the room, those folks don't last, because either we educate them that it's not about doing business with everybody. It's about getting to know people, developing that relationship, going to dinner after a thing, or just having a hoot in a setting like this, right? A whole laugh fest, that works out
it's
well.
the best medicine, I've heard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. And so those folks, they either learn quickly or they don't come back.
He'll be 100% better because of the laugh fest he's been part of.
I know.
It's the best medicine. He'll be 100% better when you get home.
I'm going to be online for about 4.5 hours on a training session for the rest of the day. So fortunately, this is the highlight of my day.
Anytime you spend with me is the highlight of your day, Tom.
That's true.
So I just looked at the clock, and we have been having so much fun. We are actually over our time.
Are we?
We are. So anyway, Claire, thank you.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
I hope you enjoyed it. We hope to see you in December at the party.
You will see us.
Elaine's going to hold you to that. She's
going
to stalk you, and she's like,
I saw it up there.
She's going to stalk you. Claire. So anyway, we will be back on the, I would like to give a shout out to someone. I haven't shouted out to our corporate sponsors in a while. So I would like to give a shout out to PDR, Packaging and Distribution Resources up in Island. They have been huge supporters of our chamber for the last 2 years, and we really appreciate them. So anyway, thanks, guys. So I won't be, but we'll be back in the podcast studio with Marie Noglows and Ray Eckhoff as the co-hosts, and Mark Thompson from Messina Mimnaugh Wealth Management on the 19th. So we will see you then, and have a great, great week.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.